Hi, welcome to Blockchain and Smart Contracts Architecture. Today we are going to discuss about how to create a basic application in the blockchain technology. We will see that how to create an application, and then we will try to deploy that specific application inside the blockchain technology. Why do we need to learn about the tools? Yes, it is the most important question which we need to introspect ourselves. Like, why do we need to learn tools? Because here, if we don't know what type of tool do we need to use for installing the smart contract as well as for writing your smart contract to develop it, we require appropriate tools. So we are going to discuss in this specific module like what are the tools which we are going to use to write the smart contracts and to deploy the smart contract. We at Odin School help you to continuously acquire new skills with all the latest technologies. Let me introduce about me. I am Prashant Sahu. I am a certified blockchain expert and Solidity developer from Blockchain Council, having a total 4 years of experience into this blockchain domain. I have been a speaker, a trainer and a guide to the latest technologies like blockchain and cloud. If you find this video useful, please like and subscribe to our channel for more such videos, playlists and tutorials. So today we are going to discuss about what are the various tools which are actually available for deploying the smart contract in Ethereum, and then we will go in detail about the what is this contract programming language which we are going to use, that is Solidity. Okay, and then covering about the basic application, okay, which we are going to create and then deploy it on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, we are going to deploy this onto the Ethereum blockchain. So these are the three important topics which we are going to cover in this respective module. Okay, let me delete it. Yeah. So I hope you know that what are the tools which we are using. So if you want to know much about these tools, then you can go and see my previous video where I have explained about the Remix and MetaMask. So why do we need to use Remix and MetaMask? Okay, so Remix is where we are going to develop the code. Okay, Remix is a place where we are going to develop the code, and MetaMask is something where it is going to deploy the code into your Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so it is going to deploy the code into Ethereum blockchain. So this is the main purpose of MetaMask, and it is like a wallet, whereas Remix is your IDE. Okay, it's an integrated development environment where you are going to develop the code. That is, what is the coding? What is the programming language which you are going to use? That is Solidity. Solidity is the programming language which you are going to use, and then we are going to write the programs inside this Remix. Let me go ahead and try to explain you that how to create a basic application practically, and then how you can try to deploy that specific contract into the Ethereum blockchain with the help of the MetaMask. So these are the two tools which are actually required in this respective series where we are going to deploy a basic application into the Ethereum blockchain. Let me go ahead and explain it. Okay, so let me just delete. Yes. So how to set up the Remix environment has been discussed in the previous videos. If you have not seen that video, please do go and watch those videos, and then later you can come back here and then you can understand that how to write the program inside the Remix. Okay, so now let me explain you how to create a new file. So you can create a new file just clicking on the home button, and then you can click a new file here. If not, you can go to File Explorer and you can click a plus symbol on this, and then you can create a new file. Okay, so now let me just explain you the code which I have written here. Okay, so now let me explain it. So the code which you could see here is, first it tries to say it is in the form of a line wise. When I say line number 2, it corresponds to contract. When I say line number 1, it corresponds to pragma. Okay, so now I say here pragma solidity, there is small cap and then 0.5.11. Now what is this? So here pragma says, what is the pragma is actually trying to say? Pragma is saying that whatever version I have taken here, in this version the entire contract will be compiled. So what is the version? It is 0.5.11. In this version the entire contract will be compiled. So this is what the pragma is being used for. Pragma is used to say that whatever version I am trying to take here, in that version the entire contract will be compiled. Now what is Solidity? It is a programming language. I am going to mention saying Solidity as a programming language. Then later there is a small cap symbol. Now what does this indicate? Let me say if the version gets upgraded, like let me say that 0.5.11, if it goes to 0.5.12, 0.13, 0.14, if it keeps on going, this cap takes care, like it is a compatibility. Like as the version keeps on upgrading, you don't need to come and again compile the code. It is not required. Automatically this cap takes care of it, and then it tries to make sure that whatever version I have taken here, let the version, if I say that the version gets upgraded, now when the version gets upgraded, automatically this code will sync to the new version based on this cap. If you don't put the cap, it is not going to throw any error. Only thing what you need to understand is then the code will stick only with this 0.5.11 version. If the version gets upgraded, again you need to come back and compile the code to the latest version. But if I put the cap, then it is compatible to all the versions. So you need to understand this key point, that why I need to put a cap symbol. I hope you have understood the first line. Now going to second line, this is contract. Now why am I trying to put contact here? Okay, like why? So what is this contract actually? So here when I say that it is a contract, so here you need to put your contract name. Contract and then contract name. Okay, so now if you could see here in this case, okay, this is your contract and then your contract name. It is simple like your class and your class name. Like how you have your class and your class name, in the same way you have your contract and then your contract name. Why I am trying to put here contract? The reason is you are designing a smart contract here. So you just can't write a class name here. You need to write a contract and then you say your contract name. So my contract name can be any name. You can write any name which is feasible to you. And then later the syntax in the third line is, it's your data type. Okay, it's your data type, and then you have your access modifier. This part I have explained in my previous video. You can just go and just check it out. Data type, access modifier, and then a variable name. Okay, so now what is the data type here in the line number 3? If you see, it is your unsigned integer. Unsigned integer means it consists of only positive values. There is no access modifier mentioned. That means it is a default. If you don't mention anything, that it will take default as public. And then what is your variable name here? It is your stored data, and your variable name can be any name. You can mention any name as your variable name. So here in the third line, unsigned integer is your data type and your stored data is your variable name. And as there is no access modifier, it indicates that it is public. So that's your third line. Now coming to the fourth line, it says function. Okay, and then your function name, that is your set, and then inside it I am going to pass a parameter. And what is that parameter here? It is unsigned integer. It is an unsigned integer of x, and then this function should be public. So later in the line number 5, if you could see, what I am trying to do is, whatever variable name I declared in the line number 3, I have taken that particular variable name in the line number 5 and I assigned it to the x which I have passed in the line number 4. If I could repeat one more time, this is already there is a stored data in the line number 3 which is a variable name, and in the line number 5 I took that variable name and then I have assigned to x which I have actually passed in the line number 4, that is in function. So now your variable name stored data is being assigned to x. So if you see line number 7, it is a function get. This is a get function where it is public. That means this function can be accessible to everyone. And then what is this view here? View is a keyword. Whatever view which is present here, it is a keyword. So whatever function get which is present here, if you want to view this get function, you need to use a view keyword which is present inside the Solidity, which should return me an unsigned integer. So let me say, can you say that this get function, whatever get function which is present here, can you say me that can it send me a negative value? No, it can't give us the negative value as output. Why? Because here it is very clear that it needs to return an unsigned integer. Unsigned integer means, as you know, that it consists of only positive values. No negative values are allowed here. So it takes what? Only positive value, but no negative values are actually allowed. Along with that, if you see line number 8, it says you need to return what? Stored data. That means whatever is passed in the line number 5, it will be returned in the line number 8. So this is your set function where you are going to set the value, and in the get function you are going to get the value which I have actually kept in the set. Let me say that if I have passed in the set x is equal to 7, for example, now when I click on this get button, I need to see that the 7 as an output. It is the most important thing which you need to understand. Here there is x which is 7, and then when you click on this get, then you will be getting your 7 as an output. Let me say if you pass any value, let us say you pass 11 as a set, then you get 11 as an output. Why you are getting it? Because you said it very clearly from line number 7 that get me whatever I am trying to set in the line number 4 and 5. And you are saying that it should return the stored data. Now whatever you are passing in the inside this set, it is gonna give you in this 8th line, that is you are asking it, or you are asking this smart contract to say return me the data which is being passed in the line number 5. That's the reason why you could see whatever you are passing here, you could see that the value in get. And to see this value, we are using a keyword called as view, so that you could see the output of it. And it is accessible to everyone. Why? Because we are using a keyword called as public access modifier, where everybody could see the output. So I hope you have understood this entire program which I have explained to you right now. So Pragma Solidity Cap 0.5.11, it indicates whatever version you take it, in that respective version it gets compiled, and then comes your contract and your contract name. It is same like your class definition. And then you take in your 3rd line your data type, your access modifier, and then your variable name. Here your data type is your unsigned integer. Access modifier, as you have not mentioned anything, it is a default, it's public. And stored data is your variable name, and then we declared a function, a set function. Inside this set function there is a parameter which you passed, that's unsigned integer x, and then this function is set as public so that this function can be visible to everyone. Along with this, you have assigned what, like stored data, which is actually present here. This stored data, okay, this stored data which is actually present here, we can take this stored data and assign to x. And then in the 7th line we have written a function called as get, and in this get function what we are trying to do is we are going to make sure that whatever x value which we have passed here, we will be seeing that output here in the get. Now how? That is by using the view function or view keyword, if I would say. So this view keyword plays a very vital role here, making this get visible. And then it will always return unsigned integer. That means only positive values are allowed but not negative. And finally it is going to return the stored data which is already been passed in the line number 5. So this is the smart contract which I have explained it right now. So let me delete it. Yeah. So now let us go ahead and try to follow the sequential pattern which we actually need to do. So let me say what is the sequence. The first thing is development. So development is completed. Next, I have to go for compilation. This is not yet done. Once the compilation is completed, then you need to go to deployment. So now the development is completed. That's this. Whatever code we have written using the Solidity programming language, this is the development. Still there is a compilation and deployment. Let us go ahead and see that how it is going to play a vital role. Here. Now once this code has been written, let me go to compiler. So this is the Solidity compiler. Check the version, whether the version is same or not. It is 0.5.11 and here also it is 0.5.11. Let me say if I want to change the version, you can just click on it. There are various versions which are available in this drop down. So you can choose what is the version which I have used here. It is 0.5.11. Let me just click on it, and then when you click on this compile button here, this is compiled successfully. So this is been compiled successfully without any errors. If there is an error, then what's going to happen? Let me explain you that. So as you know that Solidity is case sensitive, which I have explained in the previous part. In the previous modules you could see that I have explained already that Solidity is case sensitive. So let me say if I put a caps P here, and then it throws you an error saying that, see, it is expecting pragma, a small p, but you kept a caps P. So whenever you do a mistake, when you try to compile, so you see the output like this saying that what is the error. You need to resolve this error, then the program will be clear and then it will be compiled. So let me just change it. Yeah. So now if I go ahead and try to compile, so it is not throwing me any error. The reason for this is because I have written everything appropriately. In the same way, when you start writing the program, if you try to maintain the syntax, standard and case sensitive and the logic, if everything is appropriate when you write your program, then you can go ahead and try to compile, then everything will be successful. In the case like what I have tried to explain right now, it will be the same where you don't see any errors or any issues. That's how it's been done. The compilation process is completed. Now what is the next step? The next step is you need to go ahead with the deployment process. So below this compiler, this is a Solidity compiler. If you ever forget it, go and take your cursor and put it on top of that icon. So when you put it on top of that respective icon, so then you can see that what is what. This is Solidity compiler. Let me just put my cursor on top of this. It is deploy and run transactions. Let me just click on this deploy and run transactions. So here in the environment, there is JavaScript virtual machine, which I don't want to use. I don't want to use this JavaScript virtual machine. So what I need to do is, let me just click on injected web3. The moment I click on injected web3, you see that it is Ropsten network which is coming. Okay, you see that there is a Ropsten network which is visible, and if you could see here, there is a MetaMask already available. So just click on the MetaMask here. So when you click on MetaMask, so there are no ethers available. I think in your account, it will be default 0 ethers. And make sure that here you should not be in the main Ethereum network. You need to select Ropsten test network. If it is not set, click on Ropsten test network, and then by default you will see that this is your 0 ethers. And here this is your account number. This is your account number, and you could see that here it's 0 ethers. Okay, 0 ethers available. Now what you need to do is, if you want to get ethers, what you need to do, go to this buy button which is present here, click on this buy. When you click on this buy button, there are two options available. One is directly deposit ether and the other one is a test faucet. Faucet is nothing but it is a fake account. From fake account you will get some fake ethers. These are not real ethers. These are fake ethers to do the deployment of the program. As I already explained about the gas concept, when you write the program inside the Ethereum, you need to pay a certain amount of gas. Now when you want to pay a certain amount of gas, you need to have ethers in your account. So this is a test network where you are going to use some fake ethers. Then there is a button called as get ether. You can just click on this get ether button. So when you click on that, you will be redirected to MetaMask ether faucet. Here, so this is your faucet account. When you click on this request 1 ether from faucet, you will see that a blue transaction ID will be visible here. When you click on this request 1 ether from faucet, you will be seeing a blue color transaction ID being visible here. And after 1 minute, if you go and check your MetaMask account, if you just click on your MetaMask extension, you see that 1 ether would be reflected in your account. In this way, I have 4 ethers in my account. So now, when you go ahead and when you click on this, you will see a transaction ID visible here, and then 1 ether will be reflected. Now in my case, I may get an error saying that as I already have 4 ethers, it may say that user is too greedy. Already is having many ethers. Let me find it out. If I get it, then that's pretty good. If not, I may get an error because I already have enough ethers in my account. Yeah, so it is just throwing an error to me. The reason is because I already have too many ethers. But for you, you will not be getting an error. You will directly get your transaction ID because you are starting from 0. You will have 1 ether being reflected here. If you just click on the MetaMask, you will see that 1 ether will be reflected. In my case, it wouldn't be reflected because I don't have a transaction ID visible here. So in that way, you need to actually get your transaction. That is nothing but your 1 ether. So once you get your 1 ether from here, then what you can do is, because if you have 0 ethers and if you go ahead and try to deploy your program, it will not deploy it because you need to have minimum ethers to deploy your Solidity program. That is nothing but it is your smart contract. Okay, so now In the environment, rather than JavaScript virtual machine, try to use injected Web3. Now when you use injected Web3, you will see that you will get your Ropsten network. So when you click on injected Web3, if you get a pop-up from MetaMask saying that your remix wants to connect to MetaMask, then you can click on the connect button saying that yes, you are giving the permission to connect your remix to your MetaMask. If you get it, then please click it on connect button. Okay, so now here this is your Ropsten network. So if you click on this MetaMask here, you see that this is your Ropsten test network, and here this is also is your Ropsten network, and here my account number starts with 0x15b, and even here also my account number is the same. You need to validate these two things from the MetaMask the moment you connect your remix to your MetaMask. So that is one of the important steps which you need to follow. So once the validation is completed related to environment and account, then you can go ahead and click on this deploy button. Sometimes if you see that your contract name, if it is not visible, let us say if it is empty, then please go and reload the page. Once you reload the page, you see that your contract name will reflect, and then you can go ahead and click on deploy. Let me click on this deploy button. So when I click on this deploy button, you get a MetaMask notification saying that this is the amount of gas which gets deducted when you try to deploy this specific program inside the Ethereum blockchain. So if you want to know about the gas concept, so you can see my previous videos where I have explained about the gas concept. So this is the amount which it gets deducted from your MetaMask account. If you have 1 Ether or 2 or 3, you see once you deploy this contract, the Ether will be deducted from your MetaMask account. Let me click on confirm, and then you can go to MetaMask here and check it out the status, whether it is in the pending state or whether it has been successfully completed. So if I see here, contract deployment is still in the pending state. Let me give 1 minute for the MetaMask to confirm it. I don't think so it will take more than 1 minute to confirm the contract deployment. Here it got confirmed. You get a notification saying that it got confirmed. Now as it got confirmed, if you could see here, this is your smart contract. If you want to get your smart contract address, put your cursor on top of it and just go to the end, and here you can see copy the value to clipboard. Just copy it, and what you need to do is, if you want, you can just copy it here. This is your smart contract address, and this smart contract address will be unique to every individual. If you want, you deploy it and you see the difference between your smart contract address and my smart contract address. This is how you can actually try to deploy it. Now, when I am trying to say that it is deployed onto Ethereum blockchain, it is my responsibility to show you that where it is deployed. Let me go ahead and try to show you. Let me click on MetaMask, and then there is a buy button here. So there is a buy button which is available. Just click it on it, and then already you completed this faucet. Now what is this faucet? When you want some fake ethers, you need to go here and click it on it. But this time I am not going to do this. I want to see that where is this smart contract deployed. I want to show you that where exactly it is being deployed. That is, we know one common thing, that is it is deployed in Ethereum blockchain. In Ethereum blockchain, where it is deployed, I want to show you that. Click on this view account and then view on Etherscan. So once you have been redirected to Etherscan, you can see here this is your MetaMask address. What is your MetaMask here? This is your extension. Your extension's wallet, that is whatever address which is present here, this is your address. Okay, now and how much amount of balance you have is gonna be reflected here. Then you would see that whatever contract which got created, because I created a contract, deployed means I created a contract, a smart contract, and where it is being deployed inside this corresponding block number, that is 8496387. In this corresponding block number, 2 minutes ago my contract got created and it got deployed into this block number from my MetaMask. Okay, this is my MetaMask address. From my MetaMask address, it got deployed into this respective block successfully. That is what I intend to say. Now if anybody asks you, how can you say that your smart contract which you have created has been deployed inside the blockchain, then you can go to Etherscan and give the block number saying that yes, the details or whatever smart contract I have developed, I have compiled it, and then I have successfully deployed it inside the Ethereum blockchain with the help of the MetaMask. So if you want, you can go into this corresponding block number, and in this block number there are how many transactions? If you could see here, there are 30 transactions. Just click on these 30 transactions, and here there are so many transactions available. Now how to see that where is your contract being present? So if you just keep on going like this, somewhere you will see that your contract creation here. This is the contract creation, and if you want, you can see this is my MetaMask address which starts with 0x15b. This is your contract creation. Okay, so if you remember, when I was explaining the Ethereum concept, I said it very clearly that your Ethereum supports both transactions as well as smart contract. Now if you could see here, along with your transactions, these are not your transactions, these are somebody else's transaction. Along with various transactions, your smart contract has also been deployed. That is your contract creation. I want to show that here in this respective thing which I am trying to explain. Okay, so this is your, let me just show it. Yeah, so this whatever which is present here, this is your MetaMask address, and if you could see, this is your contract creation where your contract got created, and it is your block number. That's how the program, Solidity program, that is nothing but where you are going to create your smart contract, can be deployed successfully without any issues. So it's the most important step which you need to understand. So let me give you a glimpse like what I have done. Okay, so first I have written the program. Okay, the program has been completed successfully. Then I went and then I compiled the program. So once the compilation is completed, I went to deployment. I then went to injected Web3. That is nothing but it's a Ropsten network. I validated it that whatever MetaMask address I have, whether it is the same address or not. And then I clicked on deploy. And then what I did is I just went to MetaMask, and then it showed me this is the amount of gas which is going to be deducted. I confirmed it, and then if you could see, certain amount of ethers would be deducted from your MetaMask account for deploying this particular smart contract. And once it is deployed, you can go to Etherscan and find out in which block number this smart contract has been deployed. And again, going into the block number, you can find out like where is your contract among various transactions. That's how you need to find out that this corresponding smart contract which I have created has been present inside the Ethereum blockchain. So in the same way, I expect that you try to create your own smart contract and try to deploy it onto the Ethereum blockchain and see the corresponding block number in which it got deployed. And one more thing which you need to understand is your block number and my block number would not be the same. You and I will be getting a different block numbers and a different smart contract address, which you actually need to understand it. Now this is your smart contract address. if there is a small arrow beside it, let me click on this arrow and let me just go down and see here. Now there is a set. Let me just pass a value here 7 and I click on this set. Let me see what is going to happen. If I click on this set, what you are trying to do now, you are not deploying the smart contract, but you are interacting with the smart contract. You are right now trying to interact. Whenever you try to deploy as well as whenever you try to interact with your smart contract, then what is going to happen? You will get a gas getting deducted. That is nothing but indirectly your ethers will be deducted from your MetaMask account. Just click on confirm and then you can go to your MetaMask and just check it out, the status, whether it is in the pending state. Okay, whether it is in the pending state or whether it is normal. Yeah, it is still in the pending state. When it is in the pending state, and if you go and click on get button, okay, so I think the transaction got confirmed. When it is still in the pending state, and if you go ahead and try to click on this get button, right, it's never going to show you the output. Okay, so let me just show you that. I think it's taking some time. Okay, it is still, if you see there, here in this case it's a terminal. The call has gone. I think it is little bit delayed to give the output. Okay, so the call has gone. Actually I have called various times. If you could see in the terminal, it is taking some time. See here, I have called many times. I just clicked on it. If you see, but you can do only one time. You can just click on it and then it is gonna give you the output. Let me see the status, whether it got deployed successfully or not. Here it is set has been done successfully. If it would have been failed, then it would have been thrown an error here. Okay, so now, okay, just let me do one thing. If I try to refresh it, I think as it is work on the browser, so it would have stored somewhere. So let me just go ahead and try to do it simply so that you can understand it. Let me go to my program. Yeah, this is my simple storage. Yes, let me just increase my font. If you want to increase the font, you can just use Ctrl+ on top of this. Go to compiler. Let me just compile it. Yes, it's done. Go and select injected web3. That's Ropsten network. And then this is your account number, which you need to match with your MetaMask account. So if you see here, it is the same. Okay. And then let me click on deploy button. Yes, it's going ahead and it's asking me, this is the gas fee. Yes, please go and confirm. Then go to MetaMask and just check it out. The contract deployment is still in the pending state. In the previous case, what happened is maybe it got suddenly struck. So that's the reason I couldn't see the output of it. So again, I'm trying to repeat the same process. Yeah, it got confirmed. If you see here, the transaction got confirmed and the deployment is successful. If you want to see the deployment, go to buy and then view account, view on Etherscan. So you would see recently whatever contract I have deployed here. Contract creation 31 seconds ago, and this is the corresponding block number. That's how you can go again into this respective block number. There are 18 transactions available. Click on it and you will see where is your contract being created. Okay, so this contract creation, is it your address? No, it's not my address. I mean to say, it's not my MetaMask address. You need to verify that, and then yeah, this is my contract. So this is my smart contract, I mean to say like MetaMask address. So it got deployed successfully along with the other transactions and along with the other contracts. Okay, and then later let me just go here, just click on this small arrow. Let me just go down and set a value to 7. Click on this set button. Yes, again it gives a pop-up. As you know, whenever you try to interact with your smart contract, it deducts certain amount of gas. So let me click on confirm and I'll just try to go ahead and try to verify that whether it is in the pending state or whether it is in the confirmed state. So once it gets confirmed, let us see. I think it's done. Okay. Yeah. Now you could see that when I click on this get, I got an output of whatever I've passed in the set. In the previous case, it just got stuck. But right now, when I click on the get, you could see that whatever value you have passed here, that value you could actually see. That's how you could actually find out the set and get values. Okay, so when you passed a value, that is whenever you interacted with your contract, it deducted some gas, and then when you click on this get, it is showing you the output which I have actually passed in the set. And the main intention of the program was also that when I was explaining you the program, I said it very clearly that whatever value you are going to pass in the set, you need to get that value. Because that's how the smart contract has been written from line number 4 to line number 8. I hope you have understood like whatever I have explained till now. That's how you are going to deploy your smart contract, and then you can see that inside the Ethereum blockchain. So what did we do? Let me show it. Here there is a remix where you are going to write your code, and then later there was injected web3 which you selected from remix, where you are going to connect using MetaMask. Using MetaMask, you are going to connect to your remix. So once you connect with the help of MetaMask, you are going to deploy that into the Ethereum blockchain. So this is how what I have explained to you. Okay, so the code development always happens in the remix, and then there is an injected web3 which you need to use to connect to a MetaMask, and once it is been connected, then there is Ethereum blockchain where you are going to connect with your MetaMask. So the flow will be like this. Your remix will be connected to your MetaMask. Now with the help of this two, your code will be deployed onto your Ethereum blockchain. So from where would you get your blockchain? Okay, what is the block height or a block number? If I would say, it is from Etherscan. From Etherscan you can get your block number, or we can call technically it as block height. So I hope you have understood like whatever concept I have explained till now, the entire program, how you can actually try to deploy, and then how you need to check it out inside the Ethereum blockchain. Let me go to the presentation. Yeah. So let me just give you a overview like what we have actually covered for in this particular part. Okay. First thing is, let me just select it. Yeah. So first thing is the tools. Like what are the tools here? It is your remix and then your MetaMask. These are the two tools which we have discussed to write the smart contract. Where are you going to write your smart contract? Inside the remix. Deployment using MetaMask. Where? Inside the Ethereum blockchain. So this is the flow. And then a good understanding on the contract programming language. It is nothing but Solidity, where I explained you the entire code. And the third part is the basic application, that is your simple storage, where what you did is you have actually set a value and then you got that value. So that's a basic application which I deployed it onto the Ethereum blockchain. So these are the topics which I have covered in this respective module. I hope you have understood like whatever I have covered inside this respective module. Thank you. If you find this video useful, please like and subscribe to our channel for more such videos, playlists and tutorials. Thank you. Have a great day.